It was the beginning of the 1940s, and the small farming community of Richland was basking in modest prosperity. The town of 240 people was proud of the sacrifices it had made to survive the years of the Great Depression and was looking ahead to its continued success. The fertile soil and the abundant water supply that attracted settlers to this area was soon to become the reason for the community's demise. It was December 1942 when Richland and its surrounding area became the site for a secret war project, a project that would change the face of Richland forever. Within 3 months of that site selection, Richland and its surrounding communities of White Bluffs and Hanford were served papers of eviction. Residents had no choice but to abandon their homes and make way for the secret project. In its place, a government-owned community had to be assembled with housing to accommodate 6,500 employees, support personnel, and family members. G. Alvin Pearson, a Spokane, Washington architect, was contacted to design the community and given only 48 hours to accept the position. In the end, his design would provide housing to over 16,000 residents. Each home was designated with a letter of the alphabet for easy recognition. Originally, the first homes to be constructed were the A and B duplexes. Other homes quickly followed to satisfy the expanding population needs. Only 44 homes with the designated L house were built. These two-story single-family homes became the residence of the supervisors, managers, and Army brass. Its efficient design and spacious floor plan were a luxury deemed suitable for the decision-makers at the Hanford site. 50 years later, these well-built homes are still a sought-after prize in Richland's real estate market. Hello, I'm Tim Alt, and thanks for joining me as we take a look at how Richland is making history again on this old L house. The City of Richland is committed to encouraging and advancing home ownership. Pride in ownership is good for the neighborhood and the community. That is why programs are in place such as the Infill Home Ownership Program to assist low to moderate income citizens with obtaining affordable housing while at the same time improving Richland neighborhoods. The program provides financing assistance to first-time home buyers in the form of a second mortgage secured by the property for new construction or purchase of an existing home and rehabilitation work. The program is available for citizens whose lack of income may restrict them from affording a quality home. Each year, the City of Richland purchases a property that has fallen into disrepair. The home is removed and a new home is built in its place. The home is then offered to a family that qualifies for the Infill Homeownership Program. This is a win-win situation for the city. It improves the quality of the neighborhood, enhances property values, and provides a home to a family that may otherwise be unable to afford one.
The infill program offers homeownership to usually 4 to 6 people a year. Participants are borrowers. They need to come in with 1% down. They need to have good credit. They have to be able to qualify for a mortgage with a lender in order to participate in this program. They have to, again, be low to moderate income. The house has to be here in Richland. The City of Richland offers $24,000 gap financing for the infill program to a borrower, and that is basically a second mortgage on the first mortgage. They'd be going through a local bank to own a home. The infill program benefits not only the new first-time home buyers, but it also improves the physical appearance of our neighborhoods, and it also revitalizes our community when we go in and take a dilapidated home that is in a neighborhood that others have shown ownership, pride in their homes, and we go ahead and demolish this house and build a home that a family's going to move into. And usually with first-time home buyers too, not owning a home in the past, they take extra pride in their home and plant flowers, plant trees, beautifies their yard. So it helps improvement of the whole neighborhood.
Keeping with the history of Richland and the uniformity of the neighborhood, the city chose to construct an L house as its 2003 infill project. The original home was demolished and city employees readied the site for construction. The original blueprints were utilized and the only changes made were to bring items up to today's codes and add a few changes to the interior layout to improve efficiency. It was soon discovered that the 50-year-old design translated quite well in today's modern building techniques. We're here today with Bob Birch from the Ashley Birch Group, and we're looking at the first L house that's been built in over 50 years. Bob, can you give us some historical significance on this project?
Yes, I can, Tim. This house was built in the 1943-45 time frame, and there were approximately 44 original L houses built. This is a reproduction, and our goal was to reproduce the house again to as accurately reflect its original construction, but bring all of its building codes and standards and energy efficiencies up into the 21st century. And you'll see that on the interior and exterior as we go through the house.
I really like how you've kept with the original theme, the shutters and the millwork that's been done on the entryway. Let's go in and take a look.
So you're noticing some of the differences in the exterior, except the fundamental design remains exactly as it was in 1943 to 45.
Well, good. With that, 50 years have passed. How did you comply with local codes, building constructions, methods? How does this structure of this house differ than it did 50 years ago?
The most significant changes, of course, come in energy efficiencies, not only in glazing, but also heating and cooling and insulation. Those are the most significant, most of which are not even noticeable as you'd walk through the house. Aesthetically, it looks just like it did 50 years ago. However, as an example, the windows are now low E argon, so these are highly efficient windows. It is still a single hung window, which was similar to that which was in the original house. The wall construction, instead of 2x4, is now 2x6 construction. Behind the siding, it has an energy board, which is a second wall construction with a vapor barrier on that. And then there's R19 insulation in the walls, all of which are significantly different than the original construction. You would never notice that from the outside or the inside. However, those are significant changes.
Now, we kept with the original design, staircase, closet located in the original design?
Yes. Everything on this floor is essentially the same as the original house. There are three small items that are different. The patio door that we have here now was not a patio door, it was a window. That has been removed and the patio door is in its place. As you go down the hallway, you'll notice that there's a larger bathroom. It's a full bath. The original house had a half bath. The full bath now gave us an opportunity by removing the back door to increase that. So that is the second. And in the kitchen grew just a little bit, and so there was one window off the back of the house that has been deleted.
Bob, I really like what you've done with the kitchen. You've made more of a workable area. What have you done here different than the original floor plan?
The most significant changes in here are the window that I'd mentioned earlier that is no longer here. This window is a little bit smaller, however, it's the very same location and is similar. We've increased the counter size for the homemaker, so there's a lot more counter space than was in the original design. This counter right here was not here in the original design. There was a wall that was across here separating the dining from the kitchen. This is now creating a much larger, more open, usable space.
We're upstairs in the master bedroom. Bob, the original floor plan calls for 4 bedrooms. We now have 3. How does that differ?
What we tried to do with this plan by improving the usability of the space is eliminate 1 bedroom, Tim, and What we did by eliminating the bedroom was we benefited by getting a utility room, significantly large utility room, and increasing the size of the bathroom. So there's a full bath upstairs and now utility room. The other 3 bedrooms remained almost essentially as they were at the original construction.
And I noticed the closets, same design.
Yes, the size and locations of the closets in each of the bedrooms and hallways have remained almost exactly the same. Some of the hardware obviously has changed, and that's just bringing it up to current standards and use of materials and methods that were now being employed.
Now, Bob, it just makes sense to have a laundry room upstairs with the bedrooms up here. Nice workable counter area. Tell me, what was the decision here?
I'm most confident that you've hit it right on the head, is that this is the living area, this is where all the laundry would typically be generated, so having a laundry room on this floor makes a lot of sense. I believe, to the best of my knowledge, L houses originally did not have laundry facilities in them at all. That mostly would have been done outside with wringer washers and clotheslines. But this is the part of the lost 4th bedroom I was sharing with you. This is where that space was replaced along with the bathroom.
And Bob, this is the larger bathroom that we're in now. We gained a little bit more square footage.
Yes, we did. As you can see, it is a little bit larger than was in the original house. Again, the location, the window, all of that was still in keeping with the original theme. The only differences that you will see, of course, is single-piece tub shower units, plumbing fixtures, more efficient toilet facilities.
We're now in one of the other bedrooms. Can you give us an idea what you've done in here?
The most noticeable is the ceiling line, as you can tell, Tim. We had to raise the upper ceiling on the upper level just a bit to accommodate the headers around. So that's why you'll see that there's a little bit of an angle on the walls on each side of the house. That was to accommodate the higher windows. You'll notice that the crown molding or the ceiling molding in these rooms and most all throughout the house is just like it was in the original houses too. We tried to retain exactly the location and type of finishes to the extent we had information on everything, and it matches throughout in the other bedrooms as well.
Bob, I want to thank you for showing us a house of the original design and made it more efficient. You've made it energy efficient and you've made it more livable. Thanks.
Well, you're very welcome, Tim. And as we've discussed in touring the inside and the outside of the house, you'll see that the character of the home as it was built in the mid-40s has remained essentially the very same that it is today. In the original construction, these types of homes were standardized to the extent that a truck could deliver almost every pound of nails and stick of lumber for the home. Those aren't the construction means and methods we incorporate today. However, the efficiencies of the home and the cost to live in this home are significantly less with the upgraded insulation, the glazing, the heating and cooling system, yet we've retained the character of the home as it was originally built, which is our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
My name is Kimberly Kwan. I'm the single mother of 3, and I heard this program from a friend. She told me that this program could help a lot of low-income family to purchase the house. Like me, I never think about I can get a house, by myself for the children. But the thing is, my boys are growing up. They are 13 and 2 is 12. They all want their own bedroom. So I really need to have extra room for the boys. But for myself, I only work by myself. I don't think I can do it until I find out this program.
Kim Kwan applied for the program last year about this time. She was very anxious. She was very willing to do everything she could to get into a home. She kept always calling me, always asking me questions on how she could make this work. Never just waiting on the waiting list for her name to get called. She wanted to have everything in order so that when her name reached the top of the list, she'd be ready to go.
I never think I will get this one, but they make my dream come true. I never think that this program could help, but I think, like in here, if you work it, and then there always somebody help you. It is worth it. Even though I work very hard, like I had to put a lot of overtime myself, like every morning I went to work 3:30 until 4 o'clock, and then come home, cook for the kids, clean up, and then prepare the dinner and clean up again. I still think it's worth it. I got what I want, my dream home.
Building for the future by looking into the past. The City of Richland's infill homeownership program, improving quality of life, revitalizing our neighborhoods, and strengthening Richland's economy. If you would like more information about this program, give us a call at 942-7580. And thanks for watching. I'm Tim Ault.